If you're looking for a movie that is the definition of a cool film in 2024, The Bikeriders is it. Hey guys, my name is Joseph Curtis. Do me a favor, click like and subscribe today. Okay, I'm done. But please, follow me also on the following social platforms. With that out of the way, let's talk about The Bikeriders. After a chance encounter, headstrong Kathy is drawn to Benny, member of Midwestern Motorcycle Club of Vandals. As the club transforms into a dangerous underworld of violence, Benny must choose between Kathy and his loyalty to the club. One of the best things in this film, probably the best thing, is the presence that director Jeff Nichols brings to this project. He shows these men that are bigger than life, or at least they see themselves that way, and you do not want to mess with them. Presents this really gritty reality that just engrosses you into the 1960s through, I believe, 1975 or 73. Speaking of presence, this movie has a huge cast. You're talking about Austin Butler, Tom Hardy, Jodie Comer, Michael Shannon, Boyd Holbrook, Norman Reedus. You got Daryl Dixon up in here, and he's got some pretty nasty teeth. And I want people to know this. The real star of the film, in the sense of who is actually the main protagonist, is Kathy, Jodie Comer. It's through the perspective of Kathy that we are thrown into this world of the Bikeriders, where she falls madly in love with Austin Butler's character, Benny, and he's being pulled in between two different worlds, one being maybe more of a tamed life with marriage with Kathy, or being the BA bike rider with his homeboy Tom Hardy. And speaking of Tom Hardy has still got it. Yes, he has definitely aged, but aged like fine wine. Every time he's on screen, it's kind of funny the way he talks. I mean, it's Tom Hardy. You're gonna get either Bane or you're gonna get Mad Max. He is very much so intimidating, but also kind of humorous in his mannerisms. But at the end of the day, when it comes to this character of Johnny, you do not want to be on the other side of the fight where you're going toe-to-toe with him. And then there's Austin, who's not Elvis anymore, guys. Let's move forward. He plays a new character named Benny. And with this character, he is just magnetic. He demands your eyeballs to be looking at him every single time he is on screen. Austin's just got that vibe. He plays a character that is kind of a loose cannon, where he can have this quiet rage about him, and then he can be as explosive as dynamite. And to go back to Kathy, Jodie Comer, her performance is great. Yes, it can come across a little bit as uninteresting or boring. Not that she's a boring actress. I didn't find her to be the most interesting of characters, especially when her accent talks like this the whole time. It can be very irritating, but you do buy into it as the film progresses. Throughout this entire journey, we see how something that was so innocent as a couple of guys just riding their bikes for fun, to something that even the leader couldn't control where it was eventually going to end up. Showing how even the most well-intentioned things can have outcomes that are governed by corrupt power. I think the thing for me when it comes to The Bikeriders is that this is just a really good film that transports you into a time period that, I mean, I never grew up in, but it felt very real and tangible, and something that I could see myself walking the streets and being a part of that community. Jeff Nichols did a fantastic job in that department, where it feels gritty, violent, and sometimes cheerful at times, where you're just hanging out with the Bikeriders. But as I was driving home with my wife, I started to really kind of break down how I felt about the movie. I do have an issue, and it's not really an issue with the story. It's how the story is put together. The movie has this pacing that feels like a series of images that we are being shown in moments of time. And don't get me wrong, these moments that we witness are engaging and entertaining and engrossing you into what's happening with these people. I just wish that we could have had a bit more of an emotional connection to the big characters that play in this story. With all that said, I still think this is a very well crafted and solid film, and I believe the more I go back to it over the years, it's going to be something that I will appreciate more upon rewatch. It's a solid film with terrific performances by Jodie Comer, Tom Hardy, and Austin Butler. It's got a vibe, an attitude, and some real grit to it. I will say The Bikeriders is a journey worth riding on. 7.5 out of 10. Well, thank you guys so much for watching this review. It really means a lot. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and also don't forget to be blessed.